I see headphones going on. I see noise cancelling deployed. We're finally into the draft. I apologize for the delay. Thailand with a 1-game lead.
And that's going to be Korea on your blue side to start things off in the Game 2 draft. Meanwhile, Thailand going to be on the red side. So, Korea, what is the plan here? Going to start off with, of course, the teamy ban on blue.
The teamy being removed is a very standard play. The thing we were highlighting coming out of the last draft was Korea, maybe not the aura, but if they aren't going to play the Arum, they absolutely cannot let it get to Thailand, who will be devastating with it, I am 100% sure. So they need to start thinking about banning it.
Or Thailand, of course, the Superman ban to start things off on their red side. Of course, pretty accustomed, pretty traditional, as it would seem. For Korea here, though, the crack being banned out once again.
Yeah, and I'd like to really see them force that. Give yourself a chance to play it. Yes, Moss is a good crack, but so is J-Jack.
And oftentimes, you know, Korea, in the group stage and in quarterfinals, they would pick their roamer first. They would oftentimes like to secure that before they showed what Rush would play.
And J-Jack does play a decent variety. We've seen him play that Joker support that was meta for a long time. He can also definitely play Alice or Orimar. I want to see him do that. Branch out, play something that he's comfortable with, because he was obviously uncomfortable on the Arum, and it showed in the scoreline.
And it shows here in the draft, because Korea are going to opt to ban it away. Thailand, though, of course, banning out the Omen alongside that Superman, and their final ban going to be coming on through here. They don't want that Linda, so Rush won't be able to get it.
Now, who do you pick? Ooh.
Okay. So this is a little bit more custom to what we see from Korea. Pick up the support or slash the roamer, and then show what Rush is going to play. Usually, Rush will play the Violet with the Chugnar.
Yeah, occasionally we've also seen that Chugnar pushed on over to Sun in the bottom lane, and a different character, maybe a Joker, played on support. Definitely viable here.
Now for Thailand, though, Zenial is available, and they can go ahead and pick that up in their first rotation.
Arduin, sorry, shifted very far up in the draft order. I'd actually say Alice Zenial. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
That should be, because Arduin, yes, they might be contested, but you can get two of the best characters in the game, so that should be the play.
There you go for Thailand. Going to be locking in the Zenial and the Alice for Korea. Now, what do they want to try and answer back, or do you want to try and pick up?
Get the Violet.
I'd say pick up the Violet. You might as well, because we know Rush is going to be on something with a lot of safety, a lot of range. That's how he likes to play. Might as well show it now, or else Thailand might take that away from you.
Yeah, 007, yes, he's mostly been playing Slims, but he's entirely capable of playing the Violet, and if they think it'll mess with you, they will draft it.
Now coming on over still, Korea, taking their time here, still taking patience, it would seem, even after that break.
I'd like to see them worry about their split lane as well. Maybe this is the time for the infamous Sun Tara.
Oh, please. I'd be so happy, TJ.
This is the time for a Lubu steal away from Remix, who looked so deadly on it last game. Get yourself something you can play in the split lane, like a Malik.
Yeah, Malik being the hover here, and the Irie.
Both split lane.
Okay, so both split, so they'll have some options for themselves. Sun, we saw it last game. Tried to be sneaky into the jungle. Didn't pay off in that last fight.
It's also taking away that Malik that was so deadly. We saw Thailand throughout this entire tournament. They've done such a good job with control-focused compositions. They really are defining the meta right now.
Okay.
But they won't have a Slims.
Yeah, they're going to likely force the Slims out from Korea unless, you know, Rush has got something else available. Could be the Fennec.
I kind of would prefer the Fennec over the Slims. I'm a known Slims hater, though, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, Thailand going to be locking in the Violet and the Flash here for V-Marks.
Flash will give them a little bit more CC to work with during these team fights, as well as the potential to dive a backline like a Crixie.
Yeah, Korea here hovering. They're thinking Slims. That's what Rush has been playing otherwise, from the Lindis and the Violet.
The big thing about the Slims is it puts a lot of emphasis on the spear throws. Find those major stuns and the team fight folds out before you. If you don't find those stuns, you don't do enough damage to survive these fights. So Rush needs to be key, and he needs to have follow-up.
And then on top of it, Hawk going to have the Crixie, and that leaves up the Lubu here for Thailand.
Lubu easily slotted into Remix, who had an outstanding performance on him last game. I see why Korea went for this draft. I don't disagree with much of it. Okay, let me rephrase. I disagree with the picks. I don't disagree with how they got there. I understand how Korea ended up with this draft. I think it is by far the weaker of the two.
Yeah, you know, you see Thailand on their side. They have the Zenial. You have the Alice on top of that Violet. Even then, Thailand feeling pretty confident. I can actually hear them right now from the stage. These guys are laughing. They're saying, all right, this draft, easy, boys. This game, too, we're already confident.
You might be able to hear some giggling. That's not the crowd. That's Thailand. Very excited on the stage, and frankly, if I got this draft, I'd be entirely in the same place. They have the ability to have global pressure from the Zenial. Then they have what I like to refer to as the home-based composition. The Alice will throw out their hissy fit, and everything else will play from behind it, with the potential to lean out, go past, using the abilities like the flash and the poke of the Violet. But the way you counter that is dive, and Korea have very little. The Malik, the Irie, and maybe the Jarknar with Chaos Protection could speed into some backlines, but they, by and large, are going to want to play passive, going to want to protect the Slims and Hawk's Crixie. And that, I think, is not their best playstyle, nor what will give them victory in this match.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning because you have a Violet. The amount of range that you have, you don't have to be anywhere close to that Crixie during the fights.
Yes, and if this Crixie's shut down before she can really get into these fights, if this Crixie's Moonfalls are forced out while she's very far away from the bulk of a team fight, that's a wasted ultimate and indeed an easy team fight for their opponents.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead, load on in for Game 2 between Korea and Thailand. After a little bit of a pause here, the players have a chance to regroup themselves and get ourselves set. Thailand looking to go up 2-0 in the series.
Oh, Korea.
Possibly forcing Korea into the lower bracket.
This is the Korea I want to see. Stay aggressive. Unfortunately, Thailand are pressing on two fronts.
Yeah, this is a little bit interesting because this is the same side invade from both teams. We don't see this too often. Luckily for Korea, they are able to get out through the top side of the map. Cherry taking some damage. J-Jack at half health.
Pressure continuing across the entire map, though. And I like the fact that this Malik Chaser is pressuring bot lane even as we speak, even as Sun is pressuring top lane. Keep it up. This is when Korea are at their best, when they're constantly providing pressure on all sides of the map.
But on top of that, look at Thailand. Mimark's already invading into the jungle, then coming straight back into that mid lane, trying to take some of the farm away from Rush.
And I think that's very good to see. Mimarks, you know the counter. Keep Korea from being safe, keep Rush from being built, and then maybe something comes of it.
Yeah, Moss, though, gets taken pretty low. The knockup's going to land there from Hawk. Mimark's forced to dash away, is able to get back to safety, but you can see already Korea, you overstep just a little bit, they will punish you.
And we said the key for these fights is shut down Hawk. We said the key for these fights is get to the Crixie in the backlines. They made no effort to their Thailand because Hawk in excellent positioning. He comes out of the brush, completely invisible until the moment he's doing damage.
You already see Sun up here toward the top lane, forcing Cherry to back on the Zenial. So going to miss out on a little bit of a wave, actually staying underneath the tower, still wanting to play safe. 3 members of Thailand, though, looking to position, still going for this 3v3 mid.
Keeping the Zenial low is very powerful because the Zenial, if they're low, has trouble angelic splendoring in, which is the major purpose of the Zenial. So little bits of poke, effective kills onto the Zenial are very, very effective.
Now, forces him back all the way to the base, then has to walk all the way back. Can't join the fights either, so he's actually just now going to hit that level 4, so he can join in. See Sun, though. We've seen this play before, and maybe it'll pay off here. The Zenial coming on down, trying to answer back. Nice. 7, though. Going to get taken down there by Hawk. You see Thailand trying to answer back, though. Mimarks, but look at the health bars, TJ. Sun is looking to clean up on the side of Korea. Mimarks taken down low. Remix is now isolated, and they are running for the hills underneath their tower. 3-1 to Korea.
The 2 key players we said needed to stay safe were kept alive. Rush was protected. Furthermore, you could see that entire fight, Hawk was never really under pressure, and I really like seeing that.
Look at this during playoffs here, TJ. Look at the difference in the game time. You can tell Korea, they like to play fast. They like to isolate the mistakes you make. That's a 4-minute difference between the 2 teams.
If this game is still going past the 10-minute mark, if it's not obviously leaning in favor of Korea at, say, the 7-minute mark, you have to start favoring Thailand.
See here, 3-1 to kill total, but still the gold pretty close to even for Thailand, so they're going to be feeling a little bit more confident either way. J-Jack coming on over to the Abyssal, just wants to try and bring it out. Remarks, though, is able to find him out, and J-Jack, he's got to be careful, because, you know, his performance in Game 1 was not accustomed to what we're used to.
I really like the fact that we still have pressure here in the mid lane. Even now, Hawk and J-Jack are still pushing forward because any amount of pressure they find here gives them a greater chance of managing to find this first Abyssal. They really need a kill before they feel comfortable going for it.
You see Sun there looking to pressure out Cherry toward the top side of the map. Still, though, pressing on in. It looks like Korea wants to try and group up together around this Abyssal Dragon, but Thailand is not going to allow them. Still trying to fight off this. Moss is able to jump forward, gets knocked up. Moonfall going to come on down. Mimmarks gets taken down extremely low, forced to use his Cyclone. The Zennial going to now rejoin on the fight, but Chaser is able to clean up the kill. J-Jack still alive. Remix tried to finish him off. Knockup comes on through from Hawk, and Remix now fighting for his life. He'll get taken down.
Beautifully done there by Chaser, popping out of the brush, and it was crucial because Cherry had the Angelic Splendor to save him. He was coming through and he would have had the necessary heal. This is an absurd dive!
Son, what is going on? Rush comes on over, helps pick up the kill. Moss puts down the ultimate, but the tower's already gone, TJ.
I was so sure Sun was not going to get that kill, and then a spear just comes flying through from off screen, and the second it lands, they've got the damage, and furthermore, there are no defensive moves that will save Cherry from that.
Cherry now forced to have to play a little farther back toward that second tier tower because Sun is going to try and pressure on in. And this is a little bit more what we're accustomed to, TJ. If Sun gets ahead in his lane, usually the opposing teams will try and answer, try and shut him down. But now Korea now has the rest of the map to go for. They want to try and pressure bot lane, they can go for it.
This is the Korea we needed to see. Push in, press forward, constantly pressure all the lanes, and don't let Thailand do what they did last game, which was shut down Rush. Already we can see Rush playing very confident, using Sun to scout the objectives, and then Rush comes through to follow up, finding a ton of... Oh my god, is that multitasking?
Yeah, Hawk, you can see that's how he keeps up his damage stat. He goes for both camps at the same time. Hey,
never
that
seen that
Moonfall
before.
has got a lot of AoE. That's efficiency, TJ.
That's actually genuinely neat. It didn't work, but that's genuinely strats. I've never seen that before. That's really cool.
Needed to focus a little bit more there on the spider, but Korea looking to position themselves around this Abyssal Dragon. Thailand, their game plan, they do not want to give up this objective. J-Jack looking to lead the charge here for Korea for a possible play. Mimmarks already had to force the rush back.
We talked about this as a home base composition, right? You set up a space where you're safe, and then you fall back to it repeatedly. What Korea are doing a really good job of in these fights so far is making sure that Thailand are a little bit uncomfortable as to where they can fall back to. A little bit not sure where the safe place is, and the second that happens, Thailand has no choice but to fall back because they have a lower overall HP pool.
See Korea still keeping J-Jack toward the mid lane, trying to form a unit around Rush. 4 members now toward this river, on toward the Abyssal Dragon. Instead, Korea, they want to set up a trap. They want to catch out 1 member of Thailand, and that will open up the objective.
Any other team at this point has gotten much more in terms of objectives. Korea, though, are single-minded, and they want to build up as much farm as they can, and they want to grab as many towers as they can.
But this is the issue, TJ. They're not grabbing any more towers. You're now 7.5 minutes. Once we get closer to that 10-minute mark, you got to start looking toward Thailand, because that's where they start to excel.
Especially once Mimmarks gets going. You see the stats. That man is insane, and I think there are people in this bush. They're proven incorrect, and now they've wasted 2 major ultimates.
Yeah, you see Moss already used his ultimate. Abyssal Dragon is aggroed, goes down to about half health, but Thailand, just with their positioning, is enough. Hawk gets caught out, has to flicker away. You have Cherry also looking to jump on in. Rush now answers. J-Jack comes up from the river, but he's alone right now, a little bit isolated. Thailand, though, is not going to punish.
That Malleus was moments short. That's, of course, the jump from...
Oh, J-Jack gets caught out there toward the side, but he's going to survive.
The Chaos Protection keeps him alive. He runs right out of the hissy fit and somehow, some way escapes with a sliver of HP, and only because Thailand are playing carefully.
J-Jack, unfortunately, has to go back to the base. That did give Thailand the opportunity to get some pressure onto this mid lane and maybe look for a play into the bot, try and catch out Chaser, instead going for the Abyssal Dragon.
This Abyssal will be major. It gives Thailand an edge back into the game. Korea need to find pressure elsewhere on the map during it. They need to find a kill up here.
Sun gonna charge on forward. Cherry gets isolated by 3 members just looking to clear out the minion wave before he gets taken on down. So unfortunately for Korea, they won't be able to push that tower.
Very nicely done. They don't get the tower, but they still find a trade kill. They still find value elsewhere on the map, and that's what they need to do if they want to stay in control of this game.
Ooh, Remix getting taken down quite low. One thing we haven't mentioned, though, is Sweet J, he likes to point out Remix on this Lubu. He considers him one of the best. We haven't really seen it, but J-Jack gets caught out here by Thailand as they're able to rotate in toward the jungle.
This is what Thailand did last game. Chaser goes in.
Sun onto the side. Remix wanted to go for the engage. Then you're going to rejoin onto the fight. It's a 3v5. Chaser. Now Hawk rejoins, but Chaser is caught out. Korea leave him behind and sacrifice him to the wolves.
I don't know how Chaser ended up that far forward. He should have been so far back in comparison, and the fact that he ended up overextended like that on the Malik is deadly, because they'd lost J-Jack and Chaser repeatedly, several fights in a row, and that's going to stop.
Oh, Hawk goes a little too far forward, has to flicker away. 007 a little too far forward, but guess what time it is, TJ? 10 minutes on the clock, and Thailand have a slight gold advantage.
10 minutes on the clock, and Korea have not done what the Koreans do in winning games.
This is a bit of an issue. Rush is forced to play his slims. I haven't seen any real flying spears other than the first tower. You can just take the tower. It feels like Korea are still... It feels like they're playing from behind.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how I feel about this, because the best Korea is not the Korea that plays a little bit careful. You end up in a situation where they're playing... I don't know if out of character is the right phrase, but they're playing a character that isn't them.
And Remix on this Lubu has kind of been the main person to pick up the Lubu, actually, because he does enjoy it, but unfortunately the win percentage is not along with him.
So Lubu was very popular, actually, in the boot camp. Lubu was tearing up the boot camp. Basically, every team had a dedicated Lubu player, but here at the AWC itself, we've seen other characters like Irie take the role.
Sun forced back underneath his tower in Thailand. Now they want to start pushing on forward. They want to try and find a weakness here in Korea, because it feels like Korea, they're just stalled out in this mid lane. They've kept all 3 members there. Finally, a rotation comes up toward the top side with Rush. Sun, though, has to be careful, because look at that down coming out from Cherry. You have 3 members of Korea, but look toward the bot lane. Thailand is trying to pressure.
Aggression from Sun
And
gets
the
the top lane. This is good from Korea, but Thailand are doing better.
And look, the tower is getting taken down, DJ. Now 007 can rejoin on toward the fight. The second tier tower in bot lane still stands. And up toward the top, Korea was able to answer likely the same amount of damage. But you know, Thailand, they're able to answer back on the aggression Korea is doing in the split lane.
Remix just popped his Conqueror, the lifesteal ultimate from Lubu, and ate the tower. Ignored everyone around him and did as much damage onto the tower as possible. Oh my god!
They just went for a Dark Slayer!
When did that happen?
All right, okay, so I don't even know how that's possible by Korea, because they also took the mid lane tower. I think it was just Rush and Hawk.
I looked away for a moment. I wasn't looking at the mini-map.
And somehow Rush and Hawk 2-man the Slayer without having a tank there. That's insane, and it may very well win them the game.
All right, so now it feels like Korea on the front foot, it would seem, starting to apply some pressure. They have the Dark Slayer. They picked up the first tier tower in mid lane. They got the second tier tower up in top lane. This now opens up the jungle. They can start seeping their way into Thailand and applying pressure.
That's what we want to see from Korea, this pressure, so that they can then secure all following objectives. Once they have all these tier 1 and tier 2 towers under threat, they can get more.
But they gotta be careful. They get caught out during one of these fights. Remix gets stunned by the flying spear of Rush. That's enough for the disengage. Hawk goes on in, though, onto Moss. Isn't able to pick him up.
Moss will play back. J-Jack nearby, responsible for saving that perhaps with the Chaos Protection. Now he's under threat again.
Still under threat. 007's able to back off, actually using his ultimate, trying to predict where Korea is going through the jungle. Instead, they sidestep it and apply pressure down toward this bot lane. Moss almost gets caught out, and Hawk is going to pick up the kill. Korea get rid of the support that's crucial for this composition for Thailand.
Chaser still in the front lines. That moonfall should be deadly, but it's shut down.
Comes back on in, though. Thailand are able to answer back 1 kill. You got the flash ultimate being used. Mimmarks, he's going in for the kill. Sun, though, is still alive, trying to back off. It's going to be a 3 for 4, but look at the health bars. That was almost an ace for Thailand.
What is that fight? Thailand managed to stay alive in the face of a Slayer buff. That is a successful team fight. They do not lose a single tower.
Cherry coming in maybe just a little bit too late on the Zenyo, but still, they're able to win pretty much like you mentioned. Getting 3 of that Dark Slayer buff off the map, you're feeling pretty happy. Let's take another look at the dive.
This Moonfall shutdown was what won them that fight. We're a bit later in the replay, but from that point forward, they've won everything. In fact, the only thing I would highlight as a mistake for Thailand was an overcommitment onto Sun.
Just a little overcommitment there.
But I understand how that happens, because Sun steps into the brush and you maybe didn't quite know what his HP is. You think it's lower than it actually is.
Yeah, Mimmarks almost picked up the kill there, but
was very narrow.
Unfortunately, was not able to make the play we saw earlier on in the evening here. Either way, though, it's going into 2B. The Abyssal Dragon secured by Korea. Now sitting ahead by 4,000 gold.
Cherry,
15 minutes onto the clock now.
Amulet of Troy, Mail of Pain, Frost Cape, Leviathan.
He's pretty tanky. I think he's taking
so tanky.
And look at this, though. Sun's going to dive on in. Zenyo now rejoins. You know, maybe he's picked up that Tara build we've been talking about from Sun.
Not quite, but it's almost as bad, especially with the Amulet of Troy. He's going to have so much shield HP at the beginning of these fights. It's just gross.
See, though, Hawk uses that Moonfall. Mimmarks gets taken down extremely low, and right when he comes out of the ultimate, he'll get taken down by Korea. No minion wave, unfortunately, so they can't push in on toward the tower, but bot lane is theirs for the taking. Sun able to push forward with the help of Rush.
Second that Cyclone ends and Mimmarks falls, there's pressure from Korea. They want to follow this up. They want to finish this up with a high ground tower pressure.
Need to break the base of Thailand. That is the key here. Even using the heal to try and push forward. The second tier tower falls. Cherry has to try and get out there with the ultimate. He will just escape, TJ, with his life.
That was down to the wire, but the fact that he gets out is critical because so much damage was just thrown onto him. I'd like to actually revisit Mimmarks dying. I wasn't quite sure how he died to the Malik. I think he actually died to the Mail of Pain reflecting damage.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think it was the Cyclone damage being fed back through the Mail of Pain that gave the Malik the kill, which is like microscopic, but Mimmarks was very, very low when he went into the ultimate.
And that is the flashy plays with the flash, unfortunately. You try and go on in there with the low health bar with that ultimate, but fortunately, the Mail of Pain going to reflect some of that damage, and he gets taken down. For Thailand, though, they're able to hold on to their high ground towers. That is what they have remaining of their base. Cherry gets caught out toward the side. I think he's accepted his fate. He's waiting for his team, but Mimmarks, look at the damage that was just put down onto that flash.
That was risky from Mimmarks. Yes, you have super speed, but that does not make you invulnerable. And if they're quick enough, they can absolutely burn down a low HP character like the Flash if they overstep their bounds.
And actually, if they picked up the kill there, that could have been a lot worse.
That could have been game.
That could have been game. One overstep from 2 members of Thailand. That's all it takes. But look at this. Mimmarks now back from full health. He's looking to look for a kill onto Sun. Sun, though, will escape.
They get him low enough, though. Sun and the rest of the team need to back up for now. They'll take this time to secure Abyssal Dragon. And then I think they'd like... Oh, my God! 44 KDA!
That is coming in from the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Quick reminder, that is from the quarterfinals. The start of the day. But still, ridiculous.
Sorry, what I was going to say is they're going to full back, secure Abyssal Dragon, and now Korea need to start worrying about the Dark Slayer.
Yeah, Remix clearing out toward the top side. Dark Slayer going to be joining us in 15 seconds. 17 and a half minutes. These games are going the distance, TJ. You know, honestly, when we look at this, oftentimes we give Thailand the advantage when it gets later and later.
Yes. And even though Korea is currently in control of the game, like you said, Thailand are a very good adaptation team. They're a very good team fight team. The later this game goes, I think, the more it favors them, particularly now that they're going for Slayer.
See this, 2 members of Korea. That's going to be the call from Thailand. Can Korea contest this Dark Slayer in the top side of the map? Because Rush is all the way down. Dark Slayer taking on down. It's going to be over to 007. Marks looking for the kill onto Hawk, and they get the kill onto J-Jack. Chaser rejoins on toward the fight. The Crixie not going to be able to find the target onto the 007. You see Violet able to position herself through these fights. Chaser gets chunked, gets the heal out, and that will keep him alive.
That should not have kept him alive, but he barely stays up. Chaser's safety will mean that Korea won't lose too many towers. It should be 2 or 3, but this becomes basically a tie game.
And you see the map awareness from Thailand. Two members of Korea show, especially Rush. Rush should not be on the opposite side of the map from the Dark Slayer when it is up.
And that's not been the first time. That hurt them last game as well around this Dark Slayer.
Almost gets taken out there. The tower will fall. You start to see the swing of momentum going back in favor of Thailand as they clean up towers in every lane.
Everyone's back for Korea now. They just need to hold on to their high grounds. If they do that, this is a tie game, and basically the next team fight wins it.
But this is what we saw in Game 1, TJ. Once Korea started to lose traction, they just hurtled in their base looking for a fight here and there, but honestly, it just was a slow death, and Thailand were able to suffocate them.
The difference is they still have the gold lead here. They still have the kill lead by an astronomical amount.
Still, though, pressure coming in here from Thailand. Want to try and take down this second-tier tower. The Alice ultimate just looking to zone away Korea. 007's able to get some damage on there, but doesn't have any minions to fully take it on down. But even without the minions, TJ, that's the power of the Violet.
Stop shooting the opposing minions. Just kill the tower. Thank you. It's so powerful.
That's the power of that Violet. Once you get 20 minutes, TJ, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, 20 minutes into the game, the next team fight, like I say, likely wins it, failing some heroics. And Korea do still have the upper hand.
Marks dives on to Rush, and he's so low! They get Hawk, and that is the key member. Rush is able to survive. Chaser's trying to tank Korea. They need to back off immediately.
Very well done by Korea. Minimize their damage. This should be at least a high ground falling, though, and they need to be very careful what they give up in the defense.
Remix gets caught out there by the flying spear. Chaser goes down extremely low. Marks is able to find the kill, but the resurrection will be there for Chaser.
Ancestral Glory was active. He's back in the fight, and that is critical. 24 seconds still on Hawk.
Still see 007 looking to chip away at these towers. If one minion is able to get close enough to that tower, he's just going to be able to take it down in likely 2 shots.
Yeah, this is all on wave clear right now, and that's why that easy fit is so powerful.
You saw he looked for the play, tried to go in with the ultimate, but had to back off. Korea still clearing out these minions before they even get close to the tower. They're able to keep it alive.
Bot lane tower does go down, though. There's the Angelic Splendor required on top lane, but the high ground has been broken.
Now Korea's base has been fractured. They are able to pick up the kill onto Remix. He's going to be down for 40 seconds. What can Korea get on the map? What can they look for?
Bottom line, they basically need a high ground in response. This game is going to very, very slowly and steadily tilt in favor of Thailand because they have that bot lane pressure. Eventually, Korea will be forced to take a defensive fight inside their base if they're unable to find more ground here and a high ground in response.
Well, that's going to be the 3rd Abyssal Dragon taken by Korea. They almost took down Marks. That is the play you're looking for. You can see how tanky this Zenial is, though. Able to just look for the front line. Korea, though, have to back off. All their members are up. Remix has rejoined us just now. It's going to be a 5v5, but the high ground in bot lane was taken. Look at this, though. Sun's looking to push out the wave as long as possible and then back off. Buy Korea some time.
That Zenial has added Amulet of Longevity to his build, of course, one of the most expensive defense items, and I think items bottom line.
He has so much HP!
And that's so powerful because Zenial's passive actually gives him a percentage of his maximum HP as damage, so you can build much more defensively on the Zenial and still find value.
For you, TJ, when you look at Korea, what is the optimal fight? Are you looking just to catch out 007 with a spear? Is there some other way? Because I feel like the team fight is in favor. Marks.
Let Marks go too far forward, shut him down.
Well, J-Jack going forward. Speaking of forward, Hawk is getting shredded. Able to escape with his life. Use the moonfall. Rush can't be that far forward.
They survived the ultimate, but they'll be back up soon. And this means Korea need to regroup and take a fight now.
You can see, though, the minion being cleared out immediately. Alice ultimate coming on down. Chaser wants to act as the front line. Spear is not able to connect on any members of over toward the side, though. Sun has to back off, trying to go toe-to-toe with Mimmarks.
Zenial is nearing the base and bottom lane. Watch Cherry, he's getting ever closer.
You see Korea trying to rotate down, maybe try and pick him off, but he's able to get to the safety of his teammates. And Thailand looking now to close the door on game 2. You see the Zenial coming on down. High ground is likely to fall here. Korea are able to find members of Thailand. You can see the health bars, but look at that high ground tower. Just one minion attack would take it down.
Sun gets back up with the Ancestral Glory, though. They traded 1-0. Korea stay alive. Staying alive is not enough, though. They need to gain ground now, because this Dark Slayer is coming up 10 seconds away. If Korea don't mount a decent attack, that's GG.
But look at mid lane. That high ground tower is also going to fall, TJ. Korea, game 2. It looked like it was in their favor to begin things off, but now the Dark Slayer available for Thailand if they want to go for the play. This is a gutsy call from Korea, because Thailand could just wait this out, wait for the minions to push in.
Have had far too many chances already.
Goes on in, 007, he's caught out toward the side. TJ, that's the Violet, gonna fall over onto the side. Korea, though, they lose 2 members. Rush and Sun are going down. Meanwhile, minions starting to pour in from the bot lane. Zenial rejoins on toward the fight. J-Jack is able to help secure the kill. Rush is going to get it himself, but he got taken down. You see Thailand are looking to clean up the rest of Korea and look to take game 2.
That should be it. The Zenial Cherry rejoining with the Angelic Splendor right off of the respawn. Absolutely is the nail in the coffin. Failing heroics from J-Jack. This is GG.
Unfortunately, he is going to be put down in the jungle or chased out. You see Mimmarks, just go for the base. There you go. Flash now coming in through the mid lane. It's going to be the ace for Thailand. And now Korea looking at the possibility of dropping down to the loser bracket as Thailand go up 2-0 in the series.
Again, Korea look better, but that was not enough, and that was not the Korea we were looking for heading into this set.
You can see the squad of Korea a little bit quiet here. Maybe the fatigue is starting to seep in. It seemed a little bit weird there from Korea. They got themselves the early advantage, but they just weren't able to convert it into towers. And this is a little bit of an issue we saw with China in their last series. They were able to pick up early kills, but the objectives just weren't there.
It is now 1 a.m. And the Korean team, I'm seeing it get to them. This is a much more tired style of play. They're not going for the major risks. You could see there were very little massive engages from Chaser. Hawk didn't get the major moonfalls we were looking for. That to me is a sign of a careful team, not the Korean team I was hoping for. The early phase, we did get it. The early phase, we got to see the Koreans pressuring every single lane. We got to see them finding early value, and then it felt like they stalled up. The second they gained control of the game, I feel they lost it.
Yeah, exactly. They had that Dark Slayer available, unfortunately for them. They just weren't able to do a whole lot in Korea. There were a couple times where you said, if you get a high ground tower, this game is likely in the bag, but they just aren't able to get into the base of Thailand.
And this final desperate Dark Slayer push, you may be a bit confused, of course. They didn't know that Slayer wasn't being taken. When the Malakal came through, they're probably already fighting Slayer. It's do or die time. And the second he did dive in, the second he did engage, became aware Thailand were just waiting for them steadily.
You saw the reactions there from Korea after a 22-minute game against Thailand. That is literally double their average game time in playoffs. This is going into the late game. This is where we're starting to see a little bit of weakness here from Korea.
Thailand establishing their archetype here. What they do well is slug out a slow brawl. Thailand do very well if the games go...